coffee or something? I'm going to go inside and order water.
Yeah, I'll have water, I think.
And the cafe?
Yeah, okay. That looks good. I'll have one of those too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got to... I think I'm allergic to the Movenpick Hotel. I've got
to what?
The Movenpick Hotel in Hamburg.
Ah.
My eyes are very sore today.
What do they have there?
I don't know.
That's the air maybe or something.
I have to find out. But also, I've had this cold since Christmas.
Since Christmas, it's a long time.
They're calling it the 100-day cold.
Oh.
It's a new thing.
Oh no!
I'm bringing it to Germany.
But I already had a cold.
Well, you have the 100-day one on me. It's my...
Okay.
Let me share.
I have your picture disc from Kiss Me.
Oh, great.
Yes, I collect them. It's one of my favorite songs of the 80s. Do you like it, your songs from
Well,
the
see, I wrote it in the 70s, so I think of it as
It's
being...
more 70s.
No, yeah, I don't have... I mean, it's always good to have a
Classic.
track like that, that is so big that you can go anywhere in the world and find some town or disco that is, that is remembered by,
Yeah, it's timeless. I think it's a timeless pop song.
But there were two completely different versions.
I mean the 1985 version.
Yes, that was the big. Because the other one was very big in K-Rock in LA and in New York and in CFMY in Canada. They played it a lot, so it was like massively successful. I was quite happy with how successful it was,
And you believed in it because you released it 3 times, I think. Yeah.
No, I think the record companies believed in it. I was over it long before before they made it. Like it was such a massive hit in '85. But by which time I was 25, and I wrote it when I was 19. So you know what it's like when you're that age. It's ancient history, isn't it? It's over for you. I hope it snows. It'd be very pleasant.
It already did, though. I think in the morning it was...
We've been driving through the snow. There've been the snow plows out.
Yes, that's the April time.
You can't believe how exciting it is for somebody like me who doesn't get to see the snow.
In Cornwall.
Yeah, it's very thrilling. There are people in Cornwall who until recently had never seen the snow, like some kids. When it snowed, you could hear them shrieking and they were running down the streets. It was kind of like because they'd never ever seen the snow in their lives. But luckily, with the weather being completely messed up, they probably will see it some more.
Yeah, I'm from Bavaria. I know very snow landscapes.
Yes.
Some people never see it, but I can live without snow, I think. Okay, should we start?
Okay.
Okay.
I'd already started. Okay.
I think I can use something from that because I thought not to talk about too much about the 80s. Maybe many people don't know that you're having a band since then.
Well, I mean, a lot of people weren't born. I mean, that's the crazy thing now that you kind of, I mean, the lifetime started before a lot of people were even born.
But the Robbie Williams fans, I think, and
they still haven't been born. They're still waiting. No, they have been
but
born.
he has some different kind of fans, I think.
He does. They're very different.
And many do know your music from this area
yes.
too, I think. It was often in the press too. Okay, you made a big jump from pop music to easy listening with country influences. How did that come?
Well, I suppose that was around that time in the 80s, I suppose, like after Kiss Me. Then I just thought, because it'd been such a long time coming, I just thought now I can do whatever I want. And I think there were 2 things. I saw the Bob Dylan film Don't Look Back, which I'd never seen before, and a Nick Drake compilation came out called Heaven in a Wildflower, and I just thought. And another thing happened. The Atari computer came out, and with Cubase, and after making all of those dance records with like bits of wires and like trying to make it all of that old equipment work, I just thought, well, anybody can do this now. So I thought it'd be much. So I thought I'll just go and learn, get my guitar playing better and just become like an acoustic singer. So I wanted it completely just away from the dance thing altogether, because I had been doing it for like 5 years or something.
But when you started with Duran Duran, you wanted to do such pop music first, or wasn't it?
That was more of because we had a drum machine, mainly because we were in this. We rehearsed over Nick's father's toy shop, so we had to kind of keep the noise down a bit. So we had this little drum machine. Nick had a little synthesizer, but it was quite a weird band. We weren't as poppy as they became poppy.
Was it punk before?
It was that immediate post-punk time, like when Public Image had just started, and so the kind of the aggression of punk had gone, and it was more experimental. The normal, lots of synthesizers were coming in, but it was it was before that sort of pure pop of the Human League that hadn't happened.
And when Duran Duran went famous, could you imagine yourself into that group?
No, it had changed, and also I'd made the decision not to be in it, so I couldn't. Simon was such a distinctive voice that it was so obviously not my voice.
It wasn't that project that you imagined for.
No, but because I thought it would. If I'd have stayed, it wouldn't have been as successful. So I think they'd have hated me. They would have.
Who knows?
Well, I think that we would have gone into a more sort of Echo and the Bunnymen sort of way rather than the more pure pop. Because that was that's the divide that I felt was going on, and I could see that they wanted to be like Japan or something. They wanted to, and at the time, I just couldn't. I couldn't see myself doing it. But then, after all of my friends had been on Top of the Pops, I thought, I better do it.
Do you know Bronski, by the way? Is this Bronski?
I had
on Top of the Pops.
I bumped into them. I didn't know them.
No, but when you were Top of the Pops, it was kind of normal that you are there too. You had, it was your. That's what you wanted to reach at that time, to be a part
I think so. It was Top of the Pops was, it was such an important part of pop music in Britain from the 60s onwards. That was how you'd made it. That was sort of success, wasn't it? Being on Top of the Pops.
Okay.
And I was on Top of the Pops in the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. So it was 3 decades of not often. But I was there.
And when have you started to write poems?
Always
from the beginning on.
Because even more important than punk, I like the beat poets and like Ginsberg and Kerouac, and so that's how I got into that. And then actually also at school, Dylan Thomas.
What was the second?
Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac.
Kerouac.
He wrote On the Road.
Okay. Your new album is called No Sad Songs. How would you describe your new songs in your own words? Is it the Cornwall sound, or?
Yeah, it's a lot more relaxed because it's a very relaxed place. Yes, I suppose it is. It's more laid back. Even when we thought we were playing fast, we were actually playing slow. And it's so far away from London. It takes 5 hours to get there on the train, and you can't pop there and back that easily. So it is a very self-contained place.
And the music is like the place.
I think it has I think the music sounds very relaxed, which is good, because I'm getting on. I need to take it easy. I couldn't be doing the high energy disco anymore. I think
No, I do.
it would be dangerous.
Because of what? Of drugs or something?
I would fear for my health. No, not so much drugs. No, I'm very pleased to have escaped drug addiction.
That was one of my questions. Is the pop music time completely over for Stephen TinTin Duffy? Can't you imagine to produce a song like in the 80s, but it's still, I think it's still...
I could imagine. Yeah, I could see myself, because obviously when I worked with Rob, we were doing like radio was sort of like an 80s sort of thing. So I could imagine doing it. But I find the whole, the business of selling records is just so different now, and it's such a smaller business, isn't it? It's kind of that back then it was it was an international thing, and you could sell. Like when Kiss Me came out the first time, 15,000 people bought it in New York, and they were mainly DJs, and you can't imagine selling 15,000 copies of a record in its first week.
I think in 3 weeks it was 250.
Oh, in Britain, yeah,
In Britain.
it sold to.
What's the number for? Between Madonna, Material Girl, and somebody else. No?
Prince.
And you can imagine to do such an album maybe for fun or experience.
I think that I can certainly. No, I think that perhaps not. I suppose it would be for fun. But when you get I'm 55, and you kind of start to think there's so many things, there's so many records I'd want to make, and there's so much. Like if you think about re-releasing old records and going through all of the archives and transferring it to digital and then mastering that, I mean that would take like a year, and it's so every project